We called the show Delving and Branching. That's what the roots do, delving into the earth. And it's what the mycelia does, the hyphae reaching into the tree's roots and branching out to find sustenance in the air and underground. But they're terms that are very much used as metaphors for human ways of thinking and doing, aren't they?
Exactly what we've been doing in creating the work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And hopefully what people will do in viewing and listening to the work. My name's Boyd. I'm a musician and sound person. I do the sound for our installations with Alison.
And my name's Alison Clouston, and I'm a visual artist on the team.
The overall environmental issues we're exploring have to do with climate change, which of course affects everything. But I guess our concerns come right back to quite small things that to do with our daily lives and interests in plants and animals and people and their relationships to each other.
Yeah, the work is always about climate change. Has been for a long time. Making art that's participatory and community-oriented is sort of part of the solution, because we can't just all run away into our bunkers. We have to collaborate. I think for me, materials is everything. I just have always responded to different materials and often use found materials because I love the fact that they're loaded with a kind of history of their past use or their past life. That way the material suggests to me how it might be manipulated. Obviously if it's wool, it's inviting me to use blanket stitch. If it's wood, it's inviting me to use a chainsaw or a chisel. And so those processes, suggest ideas for the sculptural form. So the form arises from those materials and that relationship to those materials. I've often made model buildings, and I think it's because Boyd and I are both really interested in architecture. We are vernacular architects, aren't we? Because we built a little building in the bush. When we first went out bush, we made this little house for ourselves out of totally found materials. And then I made some bone buildings that were based on real buildings as well, made out of animal bones, native animal bones, kangaroo and wombat. And then I made some model houses with the wool, and the wool was sort of about the most elemental architecture, I suppose, is a blanket, that you can wrap around you and keep you warm, and then from that comes a tent or a humpy or a sort of some kind of shelter. That's where those little houses came from. They came originally from that idea of seeking shelter and warmth and comfort, and then, of course, there's always the flip side of that that's about dispositional homelessness. The tree, which is called yumbi, which is the name for that particular kind of native pine tree, or Calatrus endocherry. The artwork's called Dalawa, forest country. We were on Davey Wiradjuri land, so we started exploring the countryside around, and we came across a forest that had burned in the Gospers mountain fire. So it was still very raw and fresh in everybody's minds. We both love those trees. They're very symmetrical kind of trees. They were incredibly beautiful, even in their scorched death. They were just glistening black charcoal. Very tall, big ones, much bigger than the ones on our country. We decided we would like to use one. So the first thing we did was find out who was the elder or traditional owner that we should talk to about the protocols of doing that, and also the current landholder under Whitefellow law. And that took us down this amazing journey of incredible people.
It seemed very appropriate to involve Wiradjuri words in the project, so we were able to record Emma and a friend out at Gunguddy, Dun Swamp. She was amazing actually. We went out there and she did a little smoking ceremony, and then we recorded her saying these beautiful words that she'd come up with to do with respect for country and plants and trees and
community
networks. They were just such great words.
You know, we grew up in New Zealand, both of us, where most of the birds and plants that we learned about as kids have Māori names.
The sounds of the words are just beautiful. There's Indigenous words for take care of till strong, for instance. The Wiradjuri word, Wallamalaya linya, which is just such a beautiful word, and you know they've got one word that sums up that whole thing in such a beautiful way.
Now we're bringing Dalawa down to Guigal country amongst Dalawa-speaking traditional owners. So we went to Peter Swain again, the Daily Wiradjuri man, and we talked with him and we talked with Emma about their permission to bring it down here, and they both said yeah if people want to receive it down there, and so that's sort of set in motion this connecting to people here, and it's still ongoing.
Another component for the soundtrack that I was interested in was the Latin, which is the botanical names for plants. So we had Calitris endulceri, which is the species name. Given that we had a choir, it would seem appropriate that they should be singing in Latin. Felt like it needed something quite ceremonial. We've got this big tree laid out on these trestles in a very ceremonial way.
So it felt like we were honouring the tree. I think a big environmental issue in this exhibition is clearly wildfire and its relationship to climate change.
But there's also the regeneration coming through the mother tree and the seedlings.
So there's that sense of hope through human action, you know? Yeah, I hope people leave the exhibition with a desire to act, to do something, and to find pleasure in that and hope in that.